competitors then out on the second and final warm-up for this 250cc Spring Cup, a 15-lap race, a really star-studded 250 lineup with men like Donny McLeod on the Silverstone Armstrong machine, Alan Carter on the Spanish Cobas, Gary Knoll and Andy Watts on the EBC bikes, and sprinkled in that foreigners like Philippe Pigano from France and Jean-Luc Guillemet, another Frenchman. So they come down a little slower this time around Devil's Elbow onto the grid. This is going to be a 15-lap battle. Tony Head from Coventry, one of the local men, and there are very few riders more experienced than Tony Head. Tony Head, number 20, he's in pole position on the grid. Next to him is number 37, Phil Mellor. Next to him, 22, Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell, sponsored by John Davis Cars, and he's been campaigning the European Championships this year. Desperate for some extra financial help, looking for sponsorship to fund this venture, and Kevin Mitchell is a man that we'll be watching in this race. Next to him, number 2, Donny McLeod on the Silverstone Armstrong machine. Then next to him, Andy Watts, number 7. And then number 28, Nigel Bolsworth, who completes the front row of the grid, sponsored by Couture Marketing. One of his sponsors, a hosiery company from Stony Stanton, and Nigel Bolsworth, perhaps the most private of the men on the front row of the grid, Peter.
Yes, it's a very mixed lineup, isn't it? A great star-studded entry, as you say, and really the test is which of these men can stay with McLeod, because he must be the favourite on the Silverstone Armstrong. That's the best bike in the race, I would say.
This is a push start, 15 laps ahead of the field. They're called under starters' orders. They're looking for the signal to start. Away they go. And it's Donny McLeod, number 2. A good start from Donny McLeod. But Jeff Fowler, number 19, right down at the tail end of the field. Donny McLeod, number 2, is the race leader. The pack round at Gerrard's for the first time. A hectic moment, and the Gerrard's certainly a little bit bumpier than it has been in the past. Kevin Mitchell in second place with the John Davis Honda in second spot. Donny McLeod from Kevin Mitchell. That looks like Andy Watts in third place.
I think Ian Newton's up to 4th on the second of the Silverstone Armstrong.
And Ian Newton is really a man to keep an eye on. He's got Neil Mackenzie's carbon fibre frame Silverstone Armstrong, not just for this race, but for some of the early Grand Prix. It'll be really interesting to see how he goes. And
Alan Carter already up into 5th place on the Spanish-built Cobas.
Down through Devil's Elbow for the first time. Very, very fast indeed. To Donny McLeod, the race leader. Kevin Mitchell from up in Lancashire. McLeod, the Scotsman, leading the Lancastrian Kevin Mitchell. The pack round Gerrard's, back over to the absolute limit. And Kevin Mitchell is not allowing Donny McLeod to get away. McLeod on the factory Silverstone Armstrong. Kevin Mitchell, who is going to do the European Championship. He's had a fine start to the competition. And Kevin, who's very sharp. The only thing that's going to stop young Kevin, I think, is lack of money. And if he can put on a good performance today, that will certainly do his chances a lot of good through the chicane for the second time. McLeod, the leader, and watching this race at the moment with a lot of interest is Neil Mackenzie.
The thing we'll be pleased about is that they've managed to get well clear of Alan Carter, because Carter on the Spanish-framed Cobas will be one of their main competitors at the Grand Prix, and he doesn't seem to be able to keep with them at the moment.
There is the second place man, and he's lost a bit of ground on Donny McLeod, but that doesn't really matter. Kevin Mitchell, one of Britain's great hopes in this year's 250cc European Championship, is doing very well indeed to stay behind Donny McLeod and ahead of Ian Newton. 10 laps completed, 5 more laps to go. But Thruxton last week, and he wasn't too happy in the wet, and one of the problems there was that the EBC brake pads that he got in weren't working very well in the wet at all. Well, no problems with the brakes this time, Peter.
No, he certainly seems to be working well the twin discs on the front of the Silverstone Armstrong. You can see it standing it on its nose going into the S's, and then of course he sweeps up the hill here before he brakes only to about 30 miles an hour from about 100 miles an hour. Really hard on the brakes now. The back end almost up in the air in first gear before he sweeps out, accelerates, nearly lifts the front before flicking it left and right through the very tricky chicane and then up through the gearbox over the start and finish.
Donny McLeod then sweeping round to start his last lap. Less than a minute then between McLeod and the checkered flag. McLeod, who's been one of Britain's top riders for a long time on the Grand Prix trail and in Britain. Very fit indeed. He started doing a lot of physical exercise for the very first time in his career.
And you can see that huge front mudguard. That isn't to keep water from spraying up, really. That is to make the airflow into the radiator and around the front tyre a lot smoother to keep the engine running cooler.
And up into fourth place now goes Andy Watts. And that really is an excellent ride from Andy Watts. He makes a habit of making bad starts, but Watts now, having charged through down in 8th place at the start of the race, is up to 4th position now through the chicane. Donny McLeod coming round to take the checkered flag, and it's McLeod who's going to win. Acknowledges the checkered flag. In 2nd place will be Kevin Mitchell, and what a good ride it is for the boy on the John Davis cars Yamaha. 3rd home Ian Newton, 4th there number 7 Andy Watts, 5th Nigel Bosworth. A good ride for 22-year-old Nigel Bosworth, another local man from Stoke Golding. But here's the charge, and Alan Carter lost a place. He lost one more place there to Kevin Maudsley. Well, when Kevin Maudsley starts beating you, things are really going badly. And Donny McLeod acknowledges the cheers from the crowd, and I'm sure that will be a victory that will encourage him and the team manager, Chas Mortimer, and I'm sure it will do a lot of good to Neil Mackenzie watching back home. There is the result. Donny McLeod, the winner. 2nd, Kevin Mitchell. 3rd, Ian Newton. So a good ride, a good start to this weekend's meeting for Donny McLeod, who want to do well in the Motor Prix tomorrow, and a good ride too from Kevin Mitchell.